as much as the next man, I like rollies, and well, not like, but I have used chewing gum before. Wouldn't think of using a vacuum cleaner on it though. Yes, if you remember back to last year, the DC40 Mk2 with the blockage of chewing gum and fags is refurbished. Let's have a look and see how it came up. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Well, I must say that this wasn't actually the worst Dyson I have ever washed and stripped. Luckily, when it got into the water and all got washed off, it actually came up pretty clean. The bin is horrifically scratched. The camera will lie, this isn't very see-through, I'll be honest. If we open up the flap inside, I have turned it on to check it works. I won't lie to you, that's why there's a little bit of dust in there. But that was, well, you couldn't see. There's a refurb thread coming up of this. I encourage you to look at that and laugh heartily at the state that it was in. The filter came up absolutely spotless. That was just washed. Nothing wrong with that at all. Where else are we? We've moved down. This is that disgraceful brush roll housing, which is now very, very lovely. These stupid EU regulation hacks came up quite nicely. Both the bearings in the brush roll end caps were seized up, so we've had those apart. We've had those greased up, and it's come up very well. Even the max min slider now works very smoothly as it should with a drop of grease. The other main issue I had was this wheel was completely, like this wheel and this wheel were completely seized up with red thread. That was alright. So that's quite nice that they are now working as they should. And yeah, basically that all works okay. If you remember back from the before video, there were no small tools, and I've got Tayab from Tayab's room to thank for the DC25 upholstery tool, which, although it doesn't have the clip that goes around the tool latch, tool holder, which he also gave me, it fits fine. And this lovely proper, okay, it's a little bit bent, that's where it's just been sat, I'm not that fussed about that, combination tool. So excuse me, this went from having no tools to having some tools. I've also got Mr. Simon Edge to thank for the bottom cord hook, because I mislaid the one that came with the machine at some point during washing, and quite frankly couldn't be able to find it, so I just got a new one just to get it out the door. I'll find it now, you watch. If you remember, this bit was utterly disgusting, but underneath the flap now, it is delightful. It is spotless. You can see through the flap, which you could not before, and yeah, the whole thing's basically come up very, very well indeed. I can't get the upholstery tool back on there. Let's just put that there. There we go. If we just drop the cable. Now our hose again was disgusting. It's not 100%, although, because it's stained, but it's not too bad either. It will do. It's certainly not worth buying a new hose for at all. Not at all. But the main difference, it doesn't flipping stink. It stank before. Now it doesn't even smell pleasant. It just smells of nothing and works really well. not too bad at all. The min and max setting really does make quite a difference to how easy it is to push, because obviously it seals the head down so it can just get that extra point on the EU regulations, because obviously this being the ERP or Mk2 is post EU regulations at, what was it, 700 watts. It's basically the machine I think they're still making now, just under a different name, the medium ball. I think of a new one now, haven't they, with the stupid hose end that looks like a, I won't say it out now in case there's children, a donkey doodah. Watch our Maniacs video if you want to know what I mean. So yes, this was very, very abused. The motor was disgusting. It had water through it, and then been used to hoover up sick, and then been used to vacuum God knows what. So the motor was caked in it. I did smell a slight whiff from the fan. No, not from the fan, from the actual motor itself. I washed the fan case and the plastic plate behind it. It still slightly smells. Nothing an air freshener won't fix. I'll lob an air freshener in it before I set it, and nobody will know. But yeah, even the air duct, where the exhaust air goes through, it passes over the PCB, and A, that was full of fluff, and B, it had been wet, because there was watermarks everywhere. Yeah, basically the poor thing was trashed. Now it's not mint, but perfectly usable for another day, really. I mean, it's, yeah. It's not too bad at all. Even the, I'll just take this off quickly. Come on. There we go. Even the post motor filter washed up very well indeed. That's just carbon dusty, but it doesn't smell at all. Shouldn't do. It's been sat in the air cover for 6 months since I did the before video. I pretty much washed the hose and filter straight away. And here we are, next year, all done. But it is all done, and now it's going to be put up for sale. I'll leave that off because I'm going to put the, in fact, let me go get an air freshener. I'll show you where I put them on these machines. Here we go. I've got 2 air fresheners here because I've got one to fit to something else. So take one out. These are the disc kind, which smell very chemically but do an alright job. Now we'll tilt the machine over. I always put them on these, just tucked, fold one in half, like so. Now the air comes out of here from the motor. So find an out of the way place. You don't want to block the airflow. You want to wedge it so it doesn't go in, so it just sits there. There you go. So it just sits there. Then when you put the filter back on, it will sit there and smell quite nice. It's starting to come through already. After a few uses, it will permeate the whole machine and smell more pleasant than it does now. It does still have a little bit of a whiff to it. Luckily it's going to be sold quite cheaply, so it's not the end of the world. But I'm wondering if I should put one at the top as well in the pre... I won't put one in the pre-motor filter, that's just silly. Silly, silly, silly. Look, even this bounces now. This bit was completely jammed up. Where are we? These heads, and again, well, you saw what it was like because I went especially scraped it all out. Well, even more came out, and now luckily it is much better. Much better indeed. It actually bounces the whole way through. That's what wrecks the performance of these machines, that part not bouncing. No such problem with that anymore. So there we go. A free Dyson DC40. Can't say it's been a lovely job to do, but the results are fantastic. Again, just from vacuuming that little area, we have a fair nugget of dust. So I shall need to brush this off, wipe it down with a damp cloth before I take some pictures to sell it. There's also a big ring of dirt around the top seal, look. Sneaky. Yeah, we'll stay down there. So from the Fags and Chewing Gum DC40, I bid you farewell and thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.